Dear students, we begin this lecture by some definitions. So we'll see some definitions. First, we will see projection on linear space. Projection on linear space. Let L be a linear space. Let L be a linear space. A function P from L to L is called projection on L if P satisfies two properties. First, P is linear, and secondly, P square is equal to P. Note that here P square denotes P composition P. So if P square is equal to P. First. Now second definition, projection on Banach space. Projection on Banach space. Let B be a Banach space a function P from B to B, a function P from B to B is called projection on B is called projection on B if it satisfies these three properties. First property, P is linear. P is linear. Second, P is continuous. Third, P square is equal to P. Note that P square denotes P composition P. So P square is also function from L to L. Third definition which we will say is operator on non-linear spaces. Operators, or let me say operator on non-linear spaces. Operator on non-linear spaces. Let N be a non-linear space let n be a normed linear space, a function t from n to n is called operator on n if t is linear and continuous. If t is linear and continuous. So in other words, elements of Bn, recall the notation Bn. What Bn denotes? It denotes set of all functions t from n to n which are linear and bounded or linear and continuous, which are linear and bounded or which are linear and continuous. Okay, so of Pn. So you can observe that as P is linear and continuous, so projection on Banach space is also an operator on Banach space. So thus we have a simple fact that every projection is operator. By operator we mean functions which are linear and continuous from n to itself. So every projection on Banach space, is operator on Banach space, We will define range and kernel of projection or any linear transformation. I could write of linear transformation. You are familiar with this definition, but in next few results we are going to use these definitions several times, so it is better to recall it. Range and kernel of linear transformation. Let L and L dash be linear spaces. Let L and L dash be linear spaces and T from L to L dash be linear. Then range of L, which we can denote by M, is nothing but set of all images T of say X where X belongs to L. So set of all images of all elements of L under T. Then kernel of L, or simply you can write it as in an abbreviation, you can put it like kernel of L as well. So in shortened form of notation, it is set of all those elements or vectors of L whose image is 0 vector. Tx is equal to 0. This 0 is actually, or it denotes 0 vector of L dash. Okay. Now we will prove some simple result here. This result, which I am taking as an example, will constantly be used in some subsequent results which we are going to prove. So example, let P from B to B be, or better I will take as, I don't need a Banach space, I simply need a non-linear space. Let P from N to N be a projection, be a projection on N. To be precise, I will write it what I mean by projection on non-linear space. That is, P is linear and P square is equal to P. Projection on linear space, we have seen, it was our first definition, that is P is linear and P square is equal to P. Let M be range of P, M be range of P. You could simply write RAN as well, short form of notation, or like this, M is equal to range of P. So notation may be a matter of choice. You may simply write this as range of L as well for simplicity, and I will write here range of P. So it is a matter of choice which notation you use. Let me use the shorter forms of notations, range of P and range of L. RAN, which stands for range. Let M is equal to range of P. Then Z belongs to M. Then we have to prove that Z belongs to M if and only if Pz is equal to Z. It is fairly simple to prove this result. Two-way implication we have to prove. So first part of the answer is this way implication, Pz is equal to Z implies Z belongs to M is obvious. So before we see the proof, let us specify what is set M. It is range of L and it consists of all images of all vectors in N. So Pz, Z belongs to M, set of all images. Now first part, we are assuming this and we will prove this. The hypothesis is Pz is equal to Z and the conclusion is Z belongs to M. So if Pz is equal to Z, in fact this part is trivial, it is obvious. So if Pz is equal to Z, then by definition of M, this is definition of M, it consists of all images. Then by definition of M, Pz is equal to belongs to M. Then by definition of M, Pz belongs to M, that is Z belongs to M. So this is what we wish to prove, because Pz is equal to Z. It is so obvious that no proof is required. Still I have written it for you. Pz is equal to Z. As Pz belongs to M, Z belongs to M, because Pz equals to Z. So first part was obvious. Now let us prove the second part. So in second part, let Z belongs to M. And what we want to prove? We want to prove that Pz is equal to Z. We want to prove that Pz is equal to Z. Since Z belongs to M, it is going to be image of some element or some vector in N. Then there is Z dash in N such that Pz dash equals to Z, such that Pz dash equals to Z. Okay. Why is it? Because M consists of all images. So if some vector is in M, then it is going to be an element of some vector which we are taking as Z dash, for such that Pz dash is equal to Z. This implies that P of Pz dash equals to P of Z, which further implies that P square, this I could write as P composition P of Z dash equals to Pz. This implies that P square of Z dash equals to Pz. This implies that P square of Z dash, this implies that Pz dash equals to Pz. Why is it? Since P square equals to P, because P is projection, so P square of Z dash. But what is Pz dash? It is nothing but Z. So we get that Z is equal to Pz, and this is what we wish to prove. So this completes the proof of second way implication. Z belongs to M if and only if Pz equals to Z. So Z belongs to M implies Pz is equal to Z. This is what we have proved in second part. Thank you.